Hello. He's going to continue where he left off in the last video in the process of having the discussion, the video interrupted, and he isn't sure what exactly was recorded and uploaded. And that video is in the process. So he is going to read now from Krishnamurti. This is called Emptiness of the Brain. And walking on that road there was complete emptiness of the brain, and the mind was free of all experience. The knowing of yesterday, though 1,000 yesterdays had been, time, the thing of thought, had stopped. Literally there was no movement. Before and after there was no going or arriving or standing still. Space as distance was not. There were the hills and the bushes, but not as high and low. There was no relationship with anything, but there was an awareness of the bridge and the passer-by. The totality of the mind, in which is the brain with its thoughts and feelings, was empty. And because it was empty, there was energy, a deepening and widening energy without measure. All comparison, measurement belonged to thought, and so to time. The otherness was the mind without time. It was the breath of innocence and immensity. Words are not reality. They are only a means of communication, but they are not the innocence and the immeasurable. The emptiness was alone. Words are not reality. They are only means of communication, but they are not the innocence and the immeasurable. The emptiness was alone. And that's from Krishnamurti's notebook, November 20th, October to 20th November 1961. Can you see that emptiness, that aloneness? That is what you are always trying to escape. This whole elaborate thing of setting up a microphone and video recording and setting up a space in a particular room in your house may just be an initiative, a work of ambition to make yourself feel fulfilled because you lack fulfillment. You may come to depend on the audience or depend on the feedback that you get from the video because you are empty inside. Do you see that? Can you look at that emptiness without judging it? The deep emptiness that religions try to help you escape and philosophies try to help you intellectualize. That modern social media and movies and video games try to help you escape. This total and complete emptiness, total and complete boredom, total and complete aloneness. Do you see it? And are you okay with it? He is drinking some peppermint tea. And there's a sleepy time kind of blend as well. He finds that the quieter the mind is, easier these discussions go. This process of having discussions and conversations out loud with himself has been going on now for a couple days. He's referring to it as the process, but is very skeptical as to the motivations and the initiative and the ambition likely behind it. Simply because every human action seems to be based in some kind of ambition, in a desire to achieve a fulfillment. And the speaker wants to carefully examine without picking it apart, but actually looking at the action itself for what it is, and not philosophizing about it or abstracting about it, but actually looking at what it is for what it is. And that is sometimes difficult to do. The speaker also doesn't want to get too deep into one thing in one particular video. You're not being hypnotized, are you? You're not being mesmerized into a state where the mind is quiet, as that will benefit you none, as the mind will get noisy again. You have to look at this very carefully. Are you being hypnotized? Are you being mesmerized? Are you being suggested? Are you suggesting things to yourself? See, these are all things that take place. The human being is very complicated. It's complexity. Right now, are you thinking that you should be thinking a particular way, or that you shouldn't be thinking a particular way? All of that is a type of escape. Do you see it? And do you see the need to see it exactly as it is? And then if you actually see yourself, the fact that you are trying to escape something, and then from that stimulus, from that seed, you plant another thought, a condition, a border that says, you shouldn't be trying to do that. That is another form of conditioning. But can you simply observe? See, all the action without observation of the fact of you were going to say what you were thinking, but this is not about what you're thinking. It's about what you are. When you are afraid, it is not you are thinking fearful thoughts, it's that you are fear itself. When you are confused, there is no observer. You are the observed, you are the confusion. And when you look at this, you can see that there is no action that can be born from this confusion. See, even there, the ambition, the dripping, wet ambition is at work in your mind. How to monetize this, how to package it. Do you see it? Do you see that ambition? That struggle, that effort to matter, to be something. You think that you are nothing. The me feels deprived, and the only way the me can feel better about itself and give you a little bit of the fulfillment is to achieve something, to have some success. Do you see it? What a state to be in. But not to resist it, not to evaluate it, just to see it. See the ambition rising. Not to say it's good or bad. That is a form of conditioning. We are taught from the beginning of our lives. He has been taught to make comparisons. Can you see the ambition within yourself? Which leads to more confusion. And ambition has to do with fear, and it has to do with violence. You want to be a better guru than someone else. You want to be a better leader than someone else. You want to be seen as having keen insights or important thoughts, and therefore you want to say things that other people will think is important. Are you seeing this? And all of that takes a tremendous amount of energy. And it traps the human being in a box. Can you live outside that box? Can you live without ambition? Can you live without ambition? Can you live without confusion? That is the only way to be a true human being. True human beings are free. Free from the trap of respectability, which you have discussed with yourself earlier today. Are you confused now? And there's no, you should do this or you should do that. Who is it that's speaking? Who is it that's speaking? Is the speaker not a part of you, and you a part of the speaker? We are not in conflict with one another. Do you see that? This is not a lecture. This is not a scolding. This is about the human being looking into himself and seeing who it is that he really is, factually and actually. This is not about becoming anything. Do you see it? Is that a benediction? Do you see it? Or are you being mesmerized, hypnotized? Do you feel that aloneness, that complete and total abandon? Do you feel the beauty? It is beyond words. No one can lead you there. If you are watching this video, the speaker cannot lead you there. He cannot talk you there. The aloneness, the suchness, I cannot even tell you if it's real. If he tells you it is real, you will likely make comparisons, just as you're doing right now. You must find out for yourself. Are you confused? The speaker seems to have entered a spot where thought has stopped. The speaker will conclude this video. Good night.